Hi everyone, this is Anil. In this video, we'll talk about how to create a digital twin in ServiceNow using a custom app called AwesomeNow Creative Works. So this app will create a file called .gml, which can be viewed in a graphml editor. Now, this custom app uses relationship API and graphml data structure to create the file. First, let's understand what is a digital twin. So the definition of digital twin goes like this. A digital twin is a virtual model designed to accurately reflect a physical object. Now, the physical object can be a data center rack, a server, or a network device. Now, this definition can also be extended to virtual components like your vCenter instance, your ESX server, and so on. Now, there are a lot of other definitions to this, the term digital twin, and depending on the context of industry, the definition varies, right? So if you see here, this is IBM definition of digital twin. As you can see, a digital twin is a virtual model designed to accurately reflect a physical object. The object being studied, for example, can be a wind turbine, and then it talks about how we use sensors to load data into the digital twin model so that we understand the performance of the object and study the energy output and so on. Now, this is one example, and similarly, there is one example from ServiceNow where they talk about uh, how digital twin brings value in supply chain management, right? So this is again a good article about that. And then there are also some very interesting thoughts in the space of how pandemic has propelled the value of having a digital twin and how having a good telecom network will enable this whole idea of having a digital twin, right? And so this is article about that. And then we talk about how do we extend this concept of digital twin to bring a better employee experience, right? So the case for creating an employee digital twin and how do we bring a better workforce satisfaction, right? And there is also a very technical article about how to actually implement this using MathWorks, right? So here they talk about how to create a digital twin for a pump, which is and then how to understand the life cycle of it, and then depending on the stage where it is in the life cycle, how to apply this model and get the best efficiency out of it, right? So again, there are, as I mentioned, a lot of variations to this term called digital twin. But now, for the context of this discussion, we are aiming to make use of a custom app created in ServiceNow and create a digital twin, which can be viewed in a tool called graphml. Right? So if you see here, this is the design at a high level. So we take any CI for which we want to create a digital twin. Then we look at the relationships for that CI. We'll process that through this custom app, and then it creates a file which can be viewed in any GraphML viewer. For example, we have one called uh, YWorks YD Graph Editor. This can be a tool to view this file. Now, let's do a demonstration of how this can be done. So first, we'll switch the application scope to AwesomeNow CreativeWorks and open a module called Files. So if you see here, here we'll go and create a new entry, and we'll call it as ESX300 and save it. And then we have a UI action called Create Digital Twin. So when you click on that, it will go and execute a subflow in the backend. So it takes like a minute, and once you refresh it, it will create an attachment to this. So yeah, so it takes a minute, as I mentioned, and then if you reload this, it will create attachment to this record. Now let's download this and view it. So the file is now downloaded. Let's open that. So this is how the file looks like. Right now we just have to touch the layout, and once you do that, then yeah, the layout comes up correctly. So now if you see here, this is the ESX server in question. and it is virtualizing all these Linux servers like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it is contained as part of a host group. It is a member of a cluster, which is contained in a data center, which is managed using a vCenter, right? So this is the layout of this the relationships for the CI. Now, if you look at the same CI in ServiceNow, so and then we look at the BSM map or the dependency view. So we'll see that it is exactly the same, right? So there's a ESX server, and then we have all those Linux servers which are virtualized. It's part of a group. It's part of a cluster, which is on a data center or in a data center, and then this data center is managed by this vCenter, right? So basically, what we have done here is we created a snapshot of this demographic of this ESX server, so that in future, if this changes, then we have a reference point. So the use cases for this is, or the benefits of this is, we take a snapshot of a CA demographic at regular intervals, and then we can also use this to simulate and analyze the CA state in order to bring in any optimization or capacity planning. So what that means is, if the CA in question is, let's say, a telco device like a network switch, and it has X number of available ports, and at a given time, if only some of the ports are used, then we have a chance to plan the capacity on it so that you can leverage the remaining ports by using them, right? So that is about that. And then coming to the steps involved in how to install it. So this code is available on GitHub and also on ServiceNow Share. So let's look at that. So if you see here, there is a scoped application which has all the code. And then in addition to that, you also have to install this update set, which has the global updates. So once you install these two, then you have the required code. Then we have to create a user uh, and basically update that in this basic authentication credentials. So if I open this one here, so this is the basic auth credentials record, and we have to update this with the user that you create, so that that user will be used to make this API call, right? And then, as I mentioned, it's also available on ServiceNow Share, so same code base and everything. So let's open that as well. So this is a ServiceNow Share link, and here it has again instructions in terms of how to download this and a little background about what is digital twin and so on, right? So you can download this here, and you need to download the application code from here. So that is about the demo. Let's do a quick recap. So the scope of the demo is to see how to create a digital twin, which can be viewed in a tool called graphml by using ServiceNow Relationship API and a custom app in ServiceNow. Thank you for watching. This is Anil.